It's time for a new adventure! This wasn't the perfect time for a trip. My bags were packed hastily. I didn't have time to research the route beforehand. Responsibilities were piling up at home. My bike's drivetrain was so worn out, the chain was slipping every time I tried to pedal hard, but I was also too broke to replace it because I was out of a job. It would have been more responsible to stay at home looking through job listings online. It would have been more reasonable to get all the paperwork off my desk. It would have been wise to use some time to work on my tax return forms. It seems I'm neither responsible, nor reasonable, nor wise, because I wasn't able to do any of these things. I hadn't been on a real adventure since Corsica. My last job had left me burned out, and I knew that once I would start a new one, I wouldn't be able to take a vacation for months. By then, summer would be over. I didn't want to let another year go by, sacrificing my love for adventure to work. So, when I had the opportunity, I quickly set up my bikepacking rig and headed for the Alps. Okay, this is the tour I'm doing, the Via Claudia. It's probably the easiest way to cross the Alps by bicycle. However, it is not very spectacular. Neither is it remote. You're always close to a main road or a village. That makes it easier to refill on food, but it also takes away a little from the experience. Quick update. We're on the final ascent to the Russia Pass, which is the apex of the whole tour, and after that we have a long descent. I don't want to do the descent in the dark or freeze my ass off at night. That's why we're going to camp here, do the ascent tomorrow morning when it's still nice and cold, and then when the sun comes out, we'll let it rip. I found some really cool ways to make a tarp shelter using the bike as a support before going on this trip. The problem is, the camping spot I found is this. You can see a slab of granite and there's just a very thin layer of topsoil on there. The only place I found where I could drive some stakes in there was very, very small. And the problem with that is none of the shelters I know work with that small a footprint. In fact, the only shelter I was able to fashion out of my tarp and the bike was this. So I guess I'll start praying now for my brakes to still work tomorrow. I just had the weirdest dream. I was in a classroom and Obama was giving a lecture on prehistoric oral traditions. And he had one student read out a passage of history where two kids stumble upon a site which they perceive to be a holy site because of particular formation of stones which are arranged in a certain order on the floor. And one of the kids stumbles and by accident moves some of the stones. And then it says to the other kids, oh shit, let's hope that no one notices that with me. And the other kid is a little girl and starts cursing the first kid and says, "What do you mean? Let's hope that no one notices." "I noticed. Am I no one to you? You disturbed the holy formation. You disturbed the ancient site of the gods. The gods know." I don't know if you see that up there, but that's a highway. When a big truck comes through, the tires start kind of howling. So while the little girl is cursing the other kid, this howling intensifies and gets louder and louder, and I hear it in my dream. And at this moment, we are back in the lecture room, and Obama is standing in front of the class, and he is just doing the gestures of cursing. "Am I no one to you? The gods know. You are cursed." I don't know how my brain came up with that, but right here we are crossing the Russia Pass from Austria into Italy. It's worth noticing that the Austrian side of the pass is mostly gravel. The Italian side is 100% butter smooth pavement, with slopes of up to 20%. By using my aero bars, I was able to get some serious speed. There are a lot of opportunities to eat some excellent food on the way, like this steak tartare I had on my way to Merano, or this delicious pizza. After spending my last night in a campground near Merano, where I could recharge my power bank and all my batteries, I headed for the train to make my way back home. I hope you enjoyed this video and have a nice day.